how do you see him? What do you see him doing next? How do you see him matching up if he was to fight Woodley?
It's a tough one. I think Woodley's power would be a little bit too much for him. But I was talking to Padraig Forner's our Severe Snippet guy last night, and my thought on I was talking about it a few months ago as well, maybe after Dos Anjos' last fight. Dos Anjos won't leave us wondering. You know, he won't leave us wondering. He won't be like Wonderboy Thompson, or it won't be like Maya, where they're standing around for 5 rounds, and after those fights, it's like, what if? That's it. Dos Anjos won't do that. Dos Anjos will go for him. He will go. He'll go straight in with those left hands. He'll try to land combinations. He won't let Woodley lean up against the fence for 5 rounds. He will go for it. You know, that might get him knocked out, but I do think he will go for it. He
gets done by a big right hand early. It might change his fast moving kind of pressure game pushing forward. Like, people seem to have a game plan against Woodley. They get hit with a big shot, and then it kind of turns into Woodley's game plan. Maybe,
but I do think he's a good counter fighter as well. You know, we've seen him land a lot of those left hand counters. And someone like Thompson is a very good countering fighter as well, but he wants big movements to counter. I think Woodley or Dos Anjos can do it inside as well as doing it from the long range. Maya can't do that. You know, Maya wants to get takedowns, and that's really all he can do. He doesn't have any boxing game as such. I think Dos Anjos can use the clinch as well. We saw last night his clinch game is very good. I think Woodley would definitely be better in the clinch as well. I think he's better boxing than Woodley. It's just Woodley is too powerful. But I do think it'll be a good fight. I think it's a good styles matchup. But with Tyron Woodley, there's always the possibility, like, there's just always a possibility it's a terrible fight, because that's just the way he fights now. He's just a safe fighter. You know, people talk about GSP for years and years and years being a safe fighter, but I think GSP did his utmost to win fights. You know, he tried to take guys down. You know, he was never waiting back like Tyron Woodley waits back and just doing absolutely nothing. I think he was doing all he could to win those rounds. Maybe not to get the finishes all the time, but there's always a possibility with Woodley, but I think it does have the makings of a good style matchup.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to see it.
Me too. What do you think is next for Dos Anjos? Obviously, Woodley, it looks like he's going to be getting shoulder surgery now. He's going to be out for a while. There was Santiago Ponzinibbio obviously fought last night. We'll get to that in a second as well. There's a lot of other good guys. Darren Till is there as well. Cameron Usman is fighting Emil Mek next week. Colby Covington is there, who we spoke about. Who do you think should be next for him?
Matched, is he?
What?
Is Wonderboy matched?
He's not, no, but I think he's out until March or something, so that might be perfect timing.
Yeah. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Time-wise.
Yeah, I think that fight makes sense. That'd be the fight I'd probably make, because you have the likes of Covington as well. Like, if they made someone like Covington versus Ponzinibbio as well, I think that'd make perfect sense, because, you know, if Dos Anjos does lose to Wonderboy, then you can put the winner of Covington versus Ponzinibbio in. Or if Dos Anjos beats Wonderboy, I think he's the obvious choice for the next title shot.
Yeah, what do you do with Till though? I don't like matching Usman and Till up just because they're both kind of massive prospects. I don't think the UFC would want to do that either.
I think we got a little bit carried away with Till. I think he's a very, very good fighter, but he's only one real win over a big fighter, and that's Donald Cerrone, who's not that good. He's a lightweight blown up to fight a welterweight, and he's just not that good. Like, I think there's a lot. I think Darren Till needs to do a good bit more. I want to see that Usman fight. I think it'd be good. You know, I'd love to see Darren Till against Carlos Condit. Obviously, we're going to talk about Carlos soon. He's fighting next week, and maybe if that can get made early for next year, I think that'd be a fantastic fight. At the moment, Till is ranked 7, Condit ranked 8, so that kind of makes sense for me. But yeah, I don't think Till is in the top title range yet.
I think you do either kind of like a Ponzinibbio, kind of maybe Masvidal or Condit, as you said. Maybe give Usman to Maya.
Yeah, maybe. But, I could see that happening as well. But there's just so many matches to make there.
Yeah.
There's so many matches. Yeah. What about a couple of people asked me about Gunnar Nelson while we're on here? Obviously, you know, the SPG trained fighter. It's hard to know what Gunnar's going to get next. I'd love to see him fight someone like Condit or fight someone like Cerrone. The Kim fight kind of makes sense to me, maybe. They were supposed to fight before.
I like the Cerrone fight, actually. I don't think we ever mentioned it, but Gunnar did an interview. I think it was a PC, was it? Where he said that that he took a good few months off just after getting knocked out by Ponzinibbio. So that's good to know that like you see people like Bisping coming back too quickly, and we say, oh, what are they doing? So it's good guys being sensible and not rushing back and making sure that their brain is ready to go, and that they're not just taking fights because they want to get back in there and avenge a loss when they shouldn't be.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think it's very smart. Looking forward to him coming back next year. Like he's not too far away from there either. There's a lot of guys.
Eros is ranked 15 apparently at welterweight. I just opened up the rankings there. Watch the hell.
The welterweight rankings are a bit mad, but there's so many good guys. There's so many good guys around there at welterweight as well that they have to get matched up. You know, they can't all be matched against each other. So there's an opportunity for a guy like Gunnar Nelson to get in there and get a fight. Maybe even like a Robbie Lawler or a Masvidal, like someone like that, or a Mike Perry is obviously not ranked yet, but someone like that. You know, there's a lot of guys coming off losses like he is as well. So you know, it's an interest. The matchmaking in welterweight is going to be very, very interesting now. I could even see him. Do you remember they had like an all heavyweight main card there before? They could do that at welterweight now. There's so many fights that should be made for like February, March time. I think it'd be maybe a good opportunity to do something like that. Yeah. But we shall see.